Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Geek Planet. I'm Jeff, as always, and this is
Jason.
And we're here to review Aquaman, and it's been about 6 years since we reviewed a movie for you guys, so we apologize. But it's been a while, so we're doing Aquaman today. It's been about a week. We've kind of sat on it, it's fermented, we've kind of got to think about it more. We won't remember as much as we did like fresh out of the theater, but we do remember quite a bit of it, so we're going to just kind of get into it's not going to be a really long review, real quick. We're just kind of talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and just what do you think? Like when you walked out, like you were like, did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you like, man? What was it?
More than anything, I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I guess I thought I was going to. Yeah. Once again, the visuals of the movie are what pushed me over as far as on the liking it side. I really kind of didn't know where they were going to go on the storyline. Yeah. Like I said, as far as comic book characters, Aquaman has always been probably one of my least favorite. Jason played that role, really bumped my intrigue, as far as wanting to see the movie, just because I think he's a badass and I've liked everything he's ever done. Yeah. So having him play the character really kind of made me want to see the movie more than anything. And then knowing the villain, there was multiple villains in this movie. But the point you touched on more than anything afterwards was just how on point the actual costumes were as far as comic book wise, and how they really nailed it as far as that. That was one of the bigger reasons as to why I liked the movie. Yeah. Like I said, visually the movie had me. It had me from beginning to end grasp. I never, even that bathroom break I took, I was like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get back, because of course I leave during the montage, which was probably what made me even more upset. But no, I mean, honestly, I went into it with a blank slate. Yeah. Normally I'll kind of research movies, or at least hear what other people are saying about it. And of course, you'll hear, from especially like Rotten Tomatoes, because they'll immediately start blabbing that on the commercial the moment that it has been seen. So I really tried to just not listen to anything going into it, like I said, with a fresh slate, and I loved it. I really liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It kind of took me over the edge as far as, like I said, visually. That was my favorite part. Yeah.
I think it had some of the best special effects in like the last 10 years. So really quick off nitpicking, like no matter what you thought about Black Panther, especially a lot of the special effects in that were trash. I think it's because they were like too busy focusing on Infinity War and their visual effects department. They were like, hurry up and get this done so we can get back to that. Mm-hmm. But then like some of the movies, like recently, there's just been Thor Ragnarok is a big one. Like the Hulk looked fake. It looked so bad. He looked a different shape than he had done in the previous movies. It looked terrible.
Well, he changes every movie.
Ugh, and it was weird. But then this movie going in, I was like, this is a lot to do. They have a lot to achieve in this film. Like they have to do Atlantis. Nobody's ever seen that before, except for if you've read Aquaman in the comics, which I have read a little bit, especially after the New 52 stuff. Visually, everything they did, I didn't see, like, of course there will always be those scenes in a lot of movies where you're like, that don't look as good as everything else, but I didn't find a scene where I felt that way, where I was like, they don't look as good as they did this in this scene or this scene. Everything looked really good, and that was my biggest pull, was the special effects. And going in, like you said, I went in with no expectations. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a Marvel guy, he's a big Marvel guy, but I'm also a DCEU guy. I like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. Justice League wasn't great, it was good. Wonder Woman was good. And then this coming off the heels of that stuff, people were like, is this going to be good? Is it going to fail? Are they going to keep going with this side of DC? And like you were saying with Jason Momoa, that guy is on point. That dude's a star. Like this guy shined. He made you want to keep watching this movie. And Amber Heard, who plays Mara, she, like, their chemistry worked really well together.
It was good.
I did feel like their romance, I mean, like, you knew it was coming kind of a thing. So it didn't feel as forced as if it was like they
didn't shove it down your throat.
Yeah, because they had already had a little bit of a connection in Justice League, so you knew they knew each other a little bit. I thought those characters did really well. A lot of the side characters did really well. Mm-hmm. The action sequences were filmed really well. Like a lot of them were like one-shot action sequences. Yeah. Like the opening where Nicole Kidman, who plays his mother, like where she's just in the house like kicking ass, and it was just one shot. Like they would just move the camera, and there was no cutaways. Yeah. And it was a great opening to that movie, like just to give you like, here's what's coming, so get ready. The movie didn't stall for me, like where it got to the point where like, okay, keep going. It kept hitting points, and we're getting where we need to be going. One of the biggest takeaways for me was that where it wasn't something where I felt like, all right, so are we gonna get to the next point, or am I gonna wait here for this little exposition?
Yeah.
And then the villains were good. I mean, the Black Manta making his outfit like montage,
That was
like came out of friggin' left field. I saw an interview with James Wan where he knew like this was a superhero film, and he wanted to just go for it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And there's like, it's like the South Park montage stuff, you know?
And we're gonna need a montage, a sports training montage.
it was money.
It
I
really was.
literally I went to the restroom during the worst possible time.
He's getting up to like go in front of me. He's like, "Are they doing a montage?" I'm like, "Yep." And it was fantastic. And then there was one scene too, I think, where it was like when they were in Italy, like looking for the next like clue.
Yeah.
For the trident, and it was like, I swear it was like a Roy Orbison song playing, like for their romantic part.
I don't know where they pulled this stuff out of left field, but it was money.
It really was.
Honestly, it kind of kept me going too.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, what the hell's going on?
I know, and all of a sudden there's an action sequence right after it. Yeah, that's like, there's a lot of those random moments where something's happening and then an explosion goes off. And like all of a sudden an action sequence starts.
That was one of the points. Yeah, I was gonna make that too, because I really was like, what in the hell is going on here? You know,
Yeah.
it happened once in the beginning. It caught me off guard, but then like 2 other times during the movie. What? I mean, how many damn times are they just gonna like blow something up while they're in the middle of doing something? It was kind of random, but at the same time, like it was I wouldn't call it a jump moment, but it kind of
It was jarring.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Meg, you startled me.
It kind of just broke up the whole entire scene.
Yeah. But special effect, like he was saying with the costumes, like that was one of the first things we talked about after we left the theater. It wasn't just they didn't slap black leather on them and like slap a logo on their chest like, you know, other movies have done. We don't get into that. But they actually, you know, his classic costume came out in the end. Ocean Master, played by Patrick Wilson, who did an amazing job, by the way, with that character.
Yeah.
The costume was looked just perfect in that and as well. And then
When he snapped the visor on, I was
oh
like,
yeah, he says I'm Ocean Master. Like that was
hands down one of the coolest
sick.
parts. Yeah,
it really was. And then Black Manta's costume was like almost you couldn't. I don't think there's a way to nitpick it really much.
No.
I mean, I can't think of anything to nitpick on it. I think it looked just open a page of the comics and I'm like, oh, that's Black Manta. Yep, that looks like Black Manta.
Yeah, it was. They didn't change anything.
Yeah.
They literally went straight from the comic books. They yanked it right off the page. I loved the setup to at the very beginning to when you finally realize the rage and hate that he had for Aquaman and why. Like I love that whole storyline. I mean, that kind of you knew shit was going to go down later on throughout the movie. So that was probably one of my favorite parts too. Was that just setting that beef up between those two.
That worked really well.
That was it worked out.
Yeah, I've seen people say that, you know, I don't know, that, well, Aquaman let him die. I'm like, yeah, but they're friggin' pirates who probably killed a lot of innocent people. You know, maybe you shouldn't have done that, and you wouldn't be in this situation. Like Aquaman said, I'm not gonna save you, you know, but I'm not gonna, you know, you shouldn't be doing this.
No,
basically, and it's not his responsibility. So they're pirates. You know, whatever happened. It set it up really well, like he was saying, and of course, it set it up for a sequel with Black Manta being the villain, which will be fantastic to have him as the main villain. I'm glad with him, when I knew he was in this and I knew Ocean Master was in it, I was like, oh, we're going to have 2 villains. Is this going to be one of those, like, you know, Spider-Man 3 moments? Where we have too many villains? But it worked because they used him the right way in this movie. And it wasn't just like, oh, here's Black Manta, they're going to fight, and now he's gone. They used him specifically for reasons, and when Ocean Master knew that he couldn't do anything to Aquaman or Mera, he sent Black Manta. He's like, you do it. So it just worked. But
it showed his progression too, because I mean, in the very beginning of the movie, he got his ass whooped. Yeah, and then it took Ocean Master and their technology to help him get his, you know, extract his revenge on him. And still, at that point, I mean, he hurt him pretty badly, but at the same time, like, you know, obviously Aquaman came out on top. That was just another reason, you know, and personally, I thought he was gone. I thought he was, dead. So
did I at first, yeah.
It was kind of a nice surprise at the end to know, and it can set up a lot of other storylines too, other sequels down the road.
Which I hope they do. I hope they keep going with this franchise. And I thought the cinematography in this movie was some of the best I've seen in a while. And James Wan is a director. He did The Conjuring 1 and 2. He did Insidious Chapter 1 and 2, I believe. And he produces most of the Conjuring universe and those Insidious universe movies. But his direction, like, there were points in the movie, like when they went to the Trench Kingdom, and like where you could tell he was a horror director because he like brought out all the stops for that stuff. And,
right.
But I hope he continues to be the one who directs this franchise, because the way he visually set it up, I mean, you could tell with Zack Snyder being a producer, you could tell he took notes from what he does, and it's the way he shoots like long shots. But I thought it was just a good looking film. Like there had been some films lately that have let me down, some cinematography wise, and this one looked really good. I thought they did a really good job with it, and it looked really good. It was a good looking film. What do you think about this? I mean, this, like, without getting into it really deeply, did you think the story was good and easy to follow, and something that wasn't too like mushed down with a bunch of extra crap in it, or was it? What do you think?
It was really well done as well. Once start throwing that mushy love crap in there, I know it has to be, it's almost like a staple anymore in a lot of these movies. I don't think it was overdone, oversaturated. Yeah. But as far as the storyline, I thought that, showing his origin, his background, where he came from, setting up the whole feud between his brother and him, and this family bloodline of who's the rightful heir to the throne, it would let somebody who had absolutely no idea what Aquaman, as far as his background or where he or any of his storyline, it would have at least kept the person intrigued enough to want to watch and finish the movie. So yeah, I thought they did a fantastic job on that. Really, I can have no complaints as far as if I was going into it absolutely knowing nothing about Aquaman. But I think, once again, when you have visuals and effects like that, and as well as they were done, it could have had a weaker storyline, and it really could have done just as well.
I agree. Yeah, I think they did a good job with the story. It wasn't too like bogged down with extra exposition, and it flowed well. I mean, and like I said earlier, it just kept going. It didn't stop and try to like drag on and then go on. It hit the beats it needed to go to, and they got to the next point. They did this, then got the next point, and they just kept moving from A to B. But yeah, I walked out of the theater, and I really enjoyed it. We saw it in IMAX. They had an IMAX 3D showing at 10 p.m., and we both had to be at work the next morning. So we were like, nope, can't do that. Unfortunately, we wanted this film would have looked beautiful in 3D. So if you guys have an IMAX 3D in your area, I recommend checking it out that way, or even just a regular IMAX, at least check it out that way. But, so overall, I really liked it. It was a really good movie. Entertaining. It looked good. And after letting it sit for when I first walked out of the theater, I was like, yeah, that was good. And after sitting in for a week, I really enjoyed it a lot more. And if Jason Momoa isn't like an A-list actor by next year, then there's a problem. Yeah. So this dude can hold his own film, and he just needs to get more and more work from now on. He's great. But so if you had to score this out of 10, would you give the Aquaman out of 10?
8.5. 8.5. Easily.
I'm going to go 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking that same thing as well. I was thinking maybe 8, but no, I'm going to go 8.5.
Yeah.
I'm pushing up to 8.5. So we both give it an 8.5. Aquaman in theaters right now. Great visuals. Fun movie. Like, you're not going to get bored.
Blast.
It's fun to have. So we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And definitely go check it out. So that's it for this review. And we're going to see you guys in our next video. But if you're new to the channel, we do have some giveaways coming up. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And when we hit 100 subscribers, we'll do our first giveaway. And then we'll kind of move from there. Because I think we're at 80 something subscribers, 87 or 88.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. So when we hit 100, we'll give away our first thing. And then we'll just kind of keep going up. So.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's it for our review of Aquaman. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'm Jeff.
I'm Jason.
See you later.